Okay, so good day. I am rediscussing the philosophies, those which we have discussed on the previous meetings, just for the sake of this video lecture, so that we could be refreshed. It has been a while since we have met because of the activities in the campus, and I wanted you to be refreshed as to the different philosophies about the self, no, about the philosophical perspectives, no, with regard the self, so that you could you could recall rather, no, those that we have discussed. So Um, as far as I know, there were three philosophers left that we failed to discuss. But again, as I mentioned, we will be going back into these philosophies so that somewhat we could finish topic one and move on to topic two. Okay, so topic one, uh, in unit one, deals on the different philosophies. Okay. And well, this is just but an activity with regard the self, but we perhaps move onto the philosophies, kasi may mga preliminaries naman tayo during our face-to-face class. Okay? So, um, of course, we have Socrates, no, as the first a philosopher rather, who advocated on his perspective about the self. And if you recall, I think we made mention about concepts of dualism, no, of which the belief that the world actually is made up of two realms, no? One that is physical and one that is non-physical or immortal. No, one that is material, that is the physical body, anything that we could see, touch, feel, no, um, i- in our own body, no, and external, no, in the world in general. Okay, and the other one, of course, if we have the body, we also have the soul. That's according to Socrates, which is the immaterial, which is made up of immaterial substance. We cannot determine its way, its composition, because, of course, it is something that is not concrete or beyond the grasp of the senses. Okay? So according to Socrates, no, an unexamined life is not worth living. That is his point of view with regard the self. Okay, so um, uh, if the physical body is um, imperfect or impermanent, no, the soul is one that is perfect or permanent. Okay, so I think I made emphasis on this before. Okay, so another is Plato. Okay, so being a student of Socrates, Plato also believed on the immortality of the self or of the soul. Okay? And he um, advocated on the tripartite um, composition of the self, okay, which composed of reason, physical appetite, spirit, or passion. Okay? So, Um, I think I also have mentioned during our face-to-face discussion on these three aspects or components of the cell. Okay, the reason, one that operates in your in the cognitive process. No, this actually would deal with cognitive processes. No? So when we think, when we remember, so practically when we make use of our minds. Okay? Although, of course, emotions and even our response or reaction to our biological needs are also being processed by the brain. But as far as Plato, he made it a separate component of the self. Physical appetite. Okay, so you know, or we know for the fact that the body, no, needs something for its sustenance. No? So we have what we call biological needs or physical needs. So this is what he refers when he talked about physical appetite. On the other hand, when we talk about spirit or passion, so this basically refer to our emotions. Okay, so cognition, that would refer to reason, no? And spirit or passion that would talk about emotions. Okay? So anyway, this is just but uh rediscussion of those that we have touched in the face-to-face class. Okay? So Saint Augustine, um he also mentioned about what his belief on the soul, and the very essence of the soul is its endeavor to be in union with its creator. Okay, so it says here that he believed that the body is united with the soul so that man may be entire and complete, and the essence of actually the self, no, or the soul is what? To be, to live eternally in spiritual bliss with God, its creator. Although, of course, as you recall, I kept mentioning about uh, um, the thought that we are not we are not indoctrinating a particular faith or religion here. Okay? So we are just simply talking about how Saint Augustine viewed the self. And according to him, eh, there's a part of us which dwells in the world. Of course, the physical body lives in the world. And when we die, the soul yearns to be with the divine or with its creator. Okay? So kaya siya bifurcated nature. So Saint Augustine believes that the self seeks to be united with God. How? Through faith and reason. Through faith and reason. Okay? So he described that humanity is created in the image and likeness of God. So I think I made mention about this, that our creator is the source of all goodness. No? And so um, us being part of his creations is also being created in its image and likeness is also by implication good. No? So sabi dyan, no? That God is supreme and all-knowing, and everything created by God, who is the source of all goodness, is also good. Okay? So another philosophy would be that of Rene Descartes. Okay, so Rene Descartes, if you could recall, what is his dictum? Cogito ergo sum. Okay, so I think, therefore I am. So the essence of the self is its being a thinking entity. Okay? And I guess that is indisputable, no, that we are all thinking beings, no? So practically the essence of being a human being is our capacity to think, no? In fact, that is one thing that separates us from what? From the other creatures, no? Because we are considered rational creatures. We make use of our brains. We think, and we are capable of complex cognitive processes compared to that of the lower animals. Okay? So we are capable of, or we have the the ability to be aware of ourselves. Okay? So Rene Descartes is known as the father of modern philosophy. No? Um, he enlightened the self into a cogito. It is a thing that thinks. No? And this this self is an extension of the mind or the body. In fact, if we are to look into uh, the brain, because of course the physical part of the body that we used to point and to when we think is our brain. Okay? So when we make use of our brain, we bring in the concept of the mind. Okay? So I think I had a laborious discussion on that last time. Okay? So it says here, I am a thinking thing, a thing that doubts, understands, affirms, denies, wills, refuses, imagines, and perceives. Okay? So part of the manifestation that we are indeed thinking is when we doubt. We don't simply accept things on its face. No? Instead, we try to what? We try to understand. We try to bring in our own perception or our own understanding of whatever it is that is happening or that is presented to us. Then we also have John Locke. Okay? So the concept of tabula rasa or blank slate, that at birth, we are, that as we grow, rather, we come to have sense experiences, and it is out of these experiences that we construct our identity. Okay? So although I made mention about the concept of reflex, no? as as a as something that most likely negates John Locke's concept of tabula rasa, no? Because at birth, a baby, a newly born, is capable of reflexive behaviors. So, reflexes are unlearned responses. No, there's no one had ever taught the baby, for example, to suck, but the baby is capable of sucking and is actually capable of locating the source. No, like for instance, the nipple of the back of the feeding bottle or that of the mother. No, so, although of course, when it comes to complex thoughts or information, the baby is not yet capable of such because of the immaturity or the nervous system is not yet so mature for such a complex process. No? And indeed, as we grow older, we come to know more about the environment, and in the same manner, we come to know more about ourselves. Okay? So a person is a thinking, intelligent being who has abilities to reason and to reflect. I think we are capable of what reasoning out and reflecting out of the experiences that we have, no? Especially at your age now, siguro pag nasa childhood stage ka, you are not so much inclined unto this because this would not be your developmental task or your preoccupation. But as we age, no, we come to gain wisdom. Yun nga yung sinasabi nila, no? Mas nagkakaroon ka ng pagkakataon na mag-isip ng kung yung bang ginagawa mo o yung mga nagawa mo ay tama ba o mali. Okay? And we come to embrace these experiences, and out from these experiences, we come to understand or to know more about who we are, what we are capable of doing. And hence, this would pave way eventually on our self-understanding. Okay? So a person is also someone who considers itself to be the same thing at different times and different places. So it means to say that our persona, our personality is something that is relatively stable or consistent. Regardless of the experiences, we remain the same person that we are. Oh? Although, of course, at times we get to respond or react differently, uh, um, depending on the situations or context we are into. But there would still be consistency as to our manner of reacting or responding unto things. No? So, yung sinasabi nila na nahuhulma tayo ng ating mga karanasan at yung mga manner of how we respond to these situations or experiences, no, um become so consistent or so stable that it it points out to who we are as an individual. Okay. Then we also have David Hume. So one of the most controversial philosophies, particularly when we refer unto his perspective about the self, because according to him, there is no such thing as self. What we only have is a bundle of perception that passes through our minds. No? So when we ask, who am I? When you ask yourself, who am I? Or when we respond to the question, who am I? No, what we bring in is our perspective or our perception of who we are as a person. So it most likely refer unto our belief, most likely, or unto our preconceived thoughts of who we are as a person. Okay, so it seems that we are constructing the self, and the self is just but a mere fictional self that we create. So that's according to David Hume. Okay? Personality, identity is just a result of your imagination. So it may not we can refute, no, this idea by more likely um looking into who we are as a person, based on perhaps our concrete experiences and the feedbacks, the very feedbacks that we get from others whom we interact with, no? Pero yun nga, babalik pa rin kasi tayo dun sa point na, oo nga, no, baka pananaw mo lang ito. Or ito lang yung pananaw mo base sa kung ano yung naririnig mo sa iba o base sa mga naranasan mo. So somewhat meron din siyang ino-offer na pagpapakahulugan sa ating pagkatao, no? So, kung minsan kapag tayo ay nagre-reflect, oo nga, no, baka yung paningin ko or baka yung tingin ko sa sarili ko, yung pananaw ko sa sarili ko ay um, ah, resulta lang ng aking perception o ng aking imagination. Okay? So, well, it offers us something controversial might be, but may also be something to ponder on. Okay? Then we also have Immanuel Kant. What about Immanuel Kant? The self is a product of reason. So I think in relation to that of David Hume also, no, that we get to have some sort of perceptions as to who we are as a person. No? So sabi dyan, everything starts with perception and sensation or of impressions. No? Is it not that when we get to know someone new, like your classmates, no? Kasi ngayon lang kayo magka-classmate, no? So you get to have impression of who your classmates are. So this is your preconceived thought of who this person is, depending on how this person interacted or have related with you. No? So we bring out the idea that the self is a response against that. Sabi niya, that's why he brought out the idea. In negation to that of the idea of Hume. No? So, he opposes pala. Kaya pala medyo na ano ko. He opposes the idea of Hume that everything starts with perception. So, For him, there is unavoidably a mind that systemizes the impressions that men get from the external world. So it's not really mere perception or sensation because the mind filters, no, and um he get to to systematize or to make these impressions be incoherent to reality. So for him, he believed that the self is a product of reason because the self regulates experience by making unified experience possible. No? So it seems that he negated the position of Hume, um, who considered the self as something that is a product of our impression because you know we get to have uh a deeper interpretation of um these things that we sense and we perceive. So kumbaga parang ano naman, eh, since ang tao ay intellectual being 'no, um, hindi lang natin hindi lang natin ini-embrace yung proseso ng sensing and perceiving, kundi ay, mas binibigyan natin ng malalim na pagpapakahulugan ang lahat ng mga nase-sense at nape-perceive natin 'no. So, um, we make it something that is unified in a manner that it adds up to our understanding of who we are. No? So, not everything that um, we experience or that passes through our senses and our interpretations of these sensations, these are just but shallow um, um, these are just but shallow information or ideas that we have about the self. But instead, we go deeper, no? Sabi dyan, we make it something that is unifying, no? So, um, Manuel Kant. Then we also have Simon Freud. I think this is where we ended last time, no? So Simon Freud's theory on the self. According to him, it's not much about what we are conscious of, no? So katulad din ng mga nauna, it's not about our sensations and perceptions, but it's more of those that are hidden, those that are not surfacing on the consciousness that matters. It's more of what's hidden in the unconscious, no? So, ano ba yung unconscious? Those we are not aware of or those we are consciously aware but we push it back to our unconsciousness because of some issues or some hang-ups that we have, no? So like when we talk about negative emotions, all the painful experiences that you have, you would not want that to always surface in your consciousness. Ayaw natin as much as possible na laging inaalala yung mga masasakit na karanasan, no? Ngunit sabi ni Simon Freud, ito ang mga mas kailangan bigyan ng pagpapakahulugan or mas kailangang iproseso at i-resolve para mas maunawaan mo kung sino ka as a person. Okay? So sabi diyan, the conscious mind includes thoughts, feelings, and emotions that you are currently aware of. The preconscious are those that are stored in your memory. So at the moment you are understanding, trying to comprehend what I am sharing. So both your conscious and I hope your preconscious mind are activated. Those that are not presently active but can be accessed or recalled, no? Not presently active but can be accessed or recalled, while the unconscious mind includes activities that you are not aware of, no? So nabanggit ko kanina yung concept ng unconscious. According to him, those which are buried, hidden in your unconscious, be it thoughts, feelings, desires, or urges, no? Um, are the very reason of our behavior. No? So, um, um, yung mga karanasan na hindi natin naproseso dahil siguro masakit, no? Mga painful experiences or mga thoughts na pinipilit nating kinakalimutan kasi hindi pwedeng mag-surface. Of course, when we talk about Freud, highly sexist yan. No? Say, for example, libidinal energy, no? Lust, L-U-S-T, no? So, kapag nagnanasa ka, may pagnanasa ka sa isang tao, hindi ba yung lust, yung thoughts mo which provoke that feeling is a desire and urge that may not be so acceptable in the community. So kaya nga kasama din sa ina-advocate ni Freud ay yung concept ng defense mechanism, no? So that when we have thoughts which are unacceptable, irrational, no? What do? We tend to, erase. Ah, ah, malaswa, ayokong isipin, no? So, we push it back into our unconsciousness, no? However, it is this situation that calls much on how we explain behavior, no? Kaya nga sabi diyan ay uh, we have to take that as part of our sabi diyan so that we shed light to our unexplained behavior. So there are defense mechanisms, no? I'm not so sure if okay. Perhaps we could somewhat talk about some of the defense mechanisms, no? Like we have displacement. O, halimbawa, ikaw ay galit. So that is an emotion. Yung galit na yun, galit ka halimbawa sa tatay mo dahil iniwan ng family nyo, tapos nagkaroon ng mayroon siyang ibang partner. No? So, a father who is irresponsible, left the family, and now with another partner. So, syempre hindi magandang ano yon, hindi magandang emosyon yon, no? So, meron kang ninonorish na grudge against your father and hindi na proseso yung emosyon na yon. So, that explains perhaps why you tend to be distrustful, for example, when it comes to relationships or you become worry, no? Or ano, yung concept ng displacement dahil sa galit mo, hindi mo mailabas, you tend to look for a weaker object or person to whom you may displace kung sino yung pwede mong pagbuntunan nung galit mo. So that explains perhaps the reason why, for instance, you're angry or you have sudden outburst, displacing your anger to someone or to any object. No? So kasi siyempre, unacceptable pa rin kung lumapang mo nga sa ngati ni tatang mo tapos bagkungin niya. Okay? So, ayan. Simon Point. So, yung concept din ng id, ego, and superego, hindi ko alam kung nandito yon. Yung concept ng id, ego, and superego. No? So, id is that part of the personality which operates in the uh, pleasure principle, no? So id, katulad niyan, walang pasok, no? So ano ba yung that part of yourself which seeks pleasure, instead of joining perhaps your synchronous classes or watching video lecture like this one that I will be sending in your GC. What will you do? Agil-ilad naknatan, ma'am. Mas na maymayat. Mas comfortable at pleasurable kapag ako ay natulog, halimbawa. Oh. So, id. yung mga bagay-bagay, mayroong parte ng pagkatao natin na parang pleasure seeking. That's the id, no? The superego, on the other hand, is that part of the personality or part of the self, which is morality, operates under morality principle, no? So ano yung morality principle mo? um, Kumbaga ito yung nangongonsensya sa atin pag meron tayong nagawang mali, no? So it's that part of the personality that would tell you, hey, what you've done is wrong. It's unacceptable. Okay, so it's that part of the personality that actually would make you feel guilty when you've done something that is in response to your id. Okay, ego, on the other hand, is operating under the reality principle. So it's that part of the personality or of the person or of the self which talks of or which deals unto reality. So when we talk about when we talk about the ego, so siguro I would just give an example so that you could somehow understand how these three parts of the personality operates. Kasi most of the time, we are hedonistic, no, individuals. We give in unto our id. Mas madaling gawin ang isang bagay na makapagpapasaya o makakapagbigay ng pleasure kaysa isang bagay na tama. Well, depende sa kung paano ka napalaki. Pero according to Freud, we tend to be id-driven, no? So in a class, for instance, during exam, no? The propensity to cheat or the tendency of individuals to cheat may be higher, no? Because of what? Of the id dictating the ego, especially if you are um grade conscious, no? You wanted to have a high grade, but unfortunately, you were not able to prepare for that particular exam or quiz, no? And so the tendency for you is what? Magkopya ka na lang, mangopya ka na lang. No? I mean, mag-cheat ka na lang, no? So the super ego on the other hand would tell you, oh no, it's wrong to cheat. Huwag kang mangopya. No, it's better to get zero rather than what? Rather than cheating. No? So of course, it's the ego that weighs, and since it operates under reality principle, it's the one that decides. And usually, because of our being id driven, the ego what? The ego gives in unto the id. So ang ending, mag-cheat din lang. And because of that, the self is uh, in a state of what? In a state of the self rather may not be so comfortable thinking that it cheated, no? So doon papasok yung konsepto ng defense mechanism. What do you mean, ma'am? The ego now makes use of the defenses. No, the ego would, for example, rationalizes the act. It rationalizes the act. The ego would tell you, or the ego would tell yourself, it's okay. Anyway, I'm not the only one cheating. No? So, may mga iba't ibang defense mechanisms. You could search the net. There are a lot. And this explains our behavior, no? So the relationship of the id with that of the ego and the super ego explains the reason why the ego has to resort unto the different defense mechanisms, no? So there's a lot. Reaction formation, displacement, ano pa ba? Rationalization. So you could substantiate your understanding on the different defense mechanisms. I think I don't know if you have encountered that in your senior high, no? So, sa personality development, parang meron ding mga ganyang usapin. Okay? Then we have Gilbert Ryle. Gilbert Ryle likened the self unto that of the behavior. So the self is the behavior. The self is the self as the way people behave. When we talk about behavior, what is the root word of behavior? Behave, to behave, which is verb. No, it's an action word. To behave is when we do something. An action. There is an action that is done. No, so that when you say, when you characterize a person being a cheater, yung taong yan na cheater, hindi mo maibibigay yung adjective na yon sa pag-characterize mo dun sa taong yun kung wala kang nakitang action, which makes you conclude that he is a cheater. No? So, there is an act. Sabi nga dyan, I act, therefore, I am. Okay? So, behavior can be of two. There are two types. One that is obvious or overt, OVERT, and one that is not so obvious or covert, COVERT, no? So pag sinabi nating overt, ito yung mga obvious, nakikita ng dalawang mata, can be directly observed by the naked eye. So you could observe that I am talking, right? I am a stimulus here. You could see me. Yung binubuka ko yung aking bibig, naririnig ninyo ang aking sinasabi. That is obvious. Those are actions from me that are obvious. Now, can there be also actions that are not obvious or covert? COVERT? Yes, no? Thinking, for example, is an act which may not be which is by nature covert. No? So at the moment I am thinking, in the same manner you are also thinking, okay? But no one knows what your thoughts are. I know that you are thinking, but I only come to know what you are thinking about when you express the same. So by nature they are covert. Thinking is covert, but it only becomes overt when you express your thoughts. But there's a danger, no? I mean, not all those that you express is really a manifestation of what's within, no? So, maaring, what are you thinking about? Or you might say, I'm thinking about what you are discussing, ma'am. O, pwedeng sabihin mo lang yun, pero baka hindi naman in reality, no? So kaya ang tinitingnan natin pag sinabi nating behavior is the consistency, the pattern. Sabi diyan, oh, set of pattern behavior, the consistency of our actions. So what determines who we are as a person is the consistency of the act. Okay? So you can conclude that he is indeed a cheater if there was cheating not only for one instance but for many instances. No? Lagi mong pinagbibigyan pero laging nag-cheat. So, you can conclude that perhaps that person is indeed a cheater. Now, going back to covert. So, lahat ng mga internal bodily processes ay covert din. May mga nangyayaring action sa loob or acts sa loob ng katawan natin na hindi natin nakikita. Okay, so like blood circulation, metabolism, bodily metabolism, those are covert behavior of the body. Okay? Thoughts din, thinking, and even emotions. Even emotions, unless it is expressed. Pero yun nga, katulad ng sabi ko, katulad ng thoughts, hindi lahat ng expression of emotions consistent to that of what a person really feels. No? Sabi niya, galit ka ba? Hindi. Hindi ako galit. Kau naman. Tapos with matching bitog. No? Okay, so hindi daw siya galit, pero yung tono ng boses niya naman ay galit. So you better watch the cues, no? There can be non-verbal cues of what is said verbally. Okay? Okay. And then we also have Paul Churchland. According to him, the self is the brain. Okay? So I'm sure you know what the brain is. It's a part of your nervous system. It's a very complex organ of the body, which is basically the CPU, no, central processor of the body, without which you cannot understand what I'm saying. You could not even go in front of your gadget and watch this. Practically everything that we do is processed by the brain. Emotions, thoughts, sensations, everything, even those that passes through the senses still is being processed to the brain. Okay, so yung naririnig ninyo ngayon na boses ko ay hindi nyo yan maiintindihan kung wala ang inyong Wernicke's area. Wernicke's area of the brain is that part of the brain that is for comprehension of speech. In the same manner, you could not react to what I am discussing. You could not produce speech without your Broca's area of the brain. So you see, even speech production and comprehension are also functions of the brain. I'm sure when you had your anatomy, you've learned a lot about the different functions of your brain. And you might have realized how great our brains are, no? Because without which we could not really be the same person that we are. And so perhaps that's according to Churchland, no, from the concept of science, that the brain, the physical brain, gives the sense of self. Okay? And lastly, I think this is the last in this chapter, or in this topic rather, um, Ponti's perception or perspective about the self. According to him, the self has embodied subjectivity. So he explained that all our knowledge about ourselves in the world is based on our subjective experiences. At times, bakit masyadong negatibo ang tingin natin sa mga tao, sa mga pangyayari sa paligid natin? Malamang dahil kung susumain natin at titingnan natin ang ating mga karanasan, malamang ay dahil negatibo ito. No? Everything that you are aware of is contained in your consciousness. So the body serves only but a medium, no, of the external world. And um, as such, no, we differ since there is what we call subjective experience, no, the fact that we came from different backgrounds and with different experiences, no, our point of view of who we are is in our very unique way different, no, from that of the others, no. So dahil nga we have this what we call subjectivity, you know, we have different experiences, and because of these different experiences, not only experiences but even background, the people whom we interact with, no, the context that we came from, no, are all contributory to that sense of self that we have. And given these differences, this is so obviously the reason why we also have differences in terms of how we perceive ourselves. Okay? So I think this is the end of topic 1. Okay, you wait for the video lecture of topic 2. So thank you and good day.